Pittsburgh Penguins win yet another game by a score of 5-1 against the Boston Bruins. Brutally outshot, Marc-Andre stands on his head, looks like the starting goalie that he is, and is going to make his 5th consecutive start tonight, the most starts he's had in a row in the regular season, and Fleury's time is inevitable. He's going to be gone sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of when he goes and to whom he gets traded to. But Marc-Andre was outstanding again on Sunday, making, I think, 42 or something saves, and Tuukka Rask unfortunately got injured, which is bad for the Bruins, good for the Penguins. Zane McIntyre came in and totally was not good. He looked out of place, and the Bruins have had a lot of bad goaltending. Their team is not as bad as the record shows, but anyone who's not named Tuukka Rask has been abysmal for them, and they're talking about firing Claude Julien, would be a huge mistake because he's one of the best coaches in the league, and he's done what he can with that roster, but they're old, and they don't really have a lot of scoring depth, and they're slow, and that's not the coach's fault. But their GM, Don Sweeney, has done a brutal job. Anyways, I digress. So, fantastic win from the Penguins. The Crosby, Sheary, Russ line gets it done again. Each Penguin on that line getting 3 points. Crosby is now 8 away from 1,000, and is only 2 behind Connor McDavid. Evgeny Malkin is tied with him for 54. McDavid leads the league with 56. Sheary is now on pace for 34 goals, which is pretty incredible stuff for a Penguins winger who's undrafted. Yes, he's playing a line with Sidney Crosby, but I've liked him from the beginning. He's very fast, and he's feisty, and he goes to those areas, and he's a similar but better and faster version of Chris Kunitz, who Crosby played for many years, who he also got 30 goals. And then Brian Rust has another element of speed to that line. I still prefer Patrick Hornquist on there, but I do like Brian Rust on there. And basically that is Sid and the kids, and it's pretty fun to watch them play. And then you have Malkin and his line mates, Hornquist, and whoever he's playing with. Hagelin are really playing well. That is a fast line, a speed line, a nasty line. And then you have Kessels on the third line with Bonino and whoever he plays with. I think actually that's HBK. You have HBK, which has not looked great this year, but it's been better. Hagelin and Kessel on the same line, so fast. You have Malkin with Gensel and Horny, and Gensel's looked amazing. That was a steal of a pick by the Ray Shero era. Connor Sheary was a draft pick by Ray Shero. A signee by Ray Shero. Brian Rust was a draft pick by Ray Shero. Scott Wilson, who's playing, was a draft pick by Ray Shero, who's been great in the fourth line. You have Kunakol, who's not even playing, but was so key during the playoff run, a draft pick by Ray Shero. Matt Murray, a draft pick by Ray Shero. So, we chastised Ray Shero for many years of not giving the Penguins a great team, but his picks that he has brought have slowly been coming together and have really been competent bums. Cheap, fast, young pieces the Penguins can use, and it's a far cry from who they were a few years ago. You had Craig Adams and the Tanner Glass of the world, etc. And it's fun to see everyone chip in, everyone step up like that. Crosby scored yet another goal, another nice goal, another sick goal. It was great. Like I said, Sheary got 2. Justin Schultz is now 4th in the league in points amongst defensemen. He was left for dead by Edmonton. Pittsburgh brought him up from the bottom, and they made him look really good. Now, he's not so great in his own end, but he's been excellent on the power play. He's been excellent forcing. He's filled in really nicely for Chris Letang, just not as well defensively, but he's done a great job. And the Penguins have looked a lot better than I thought they would without Chris Letang. Granted, Murray's played a lot better, but they've been scoring, and they've been dominant. And them and Washington are the 2 hottest teams in the league right now because they're scoring again. They're scoring so many goals, and they're beating teams by ridiculous amounts. Like, they beat Carolina 7-1. They beat Boston 5-1. Tonight they're playing St. Louis, and they've also struggled with goaltending this year. So that should be another fascinating game to see what happens with St. Louis in that game. Brian Dumoulin's coming back, which would be huge because they've really missed him, and he's a big part of their defense. Another key piece that Ray Shero got in that trade, which he's now looking like the most important piece, not Derek Pouliot. So the Penguins are really coming together nicely, and if Columbus didn't have their insane 14-game winning streak, if Pittsburgh didn't have their 3-game or 4 game in a row regulation losing streak. They definitely wouldn't be third in the Metro right now, but the fact that they're third and have only lost 11 games regulation is nuts. Washington's only lost 9, which is just insane, and that Metro is a death division. Now, Philly's really fallen off lately, so that's right for the taking. It looks like an Atlantic team might take it, but those top 3 teams in the Metro, man. And you have the Rangers as the wild card team. Pretty nuts to see that the division is that good, and the East has definitely taken its place now as hockey's best conference. The Metro is definitely the best division. And it's absolutely insane to think that either Washington or Pittsburgh, the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference, 2 of the best teams in the league, one of them will be out in the second round of playoffs when they inevitably face each other. Pretty crazy to think about. And you have other teams that are not as good that are going to advance further just because of the way that the league is structured and because of the division that play in. So it's going to be fascinating to watch. But man, the Penguins look good lately. They're averaging over 4 goals per game, which is absolutely insane. They're also giving up a lot of goals. I think they have, when you combine the goals they've given up and the goals that they've allowed together, it's probably like among the top in the league. So they have scored a lot of goals, given up a lot of goals as well. A lot of that was toward the beginning of the year, and their goalies have had a bit of slumps lately. But the past 4 games, or 3 games anyway, Matt Murray's only given up 1 goal each. So you had that crazy 8-7 game when they beat Washington, when Malkin got a hat trick, which was insane. But then you had 7-1 and 5-1, and I think you had another, and then you had 4-1 by Montreal. So ever since then, they've been on a roll defensively and offensively as well. So yeah, it's good times right now. It's a lot better than the rest of the world's doing, that's for sure. So that's all I have for this video. Please like it if you like, subscribe if you really like it, share it with all your friends, tell everyone, and I'll see you after the game tonight against St. Louis, when hopefully the Penguins get yet another win.